We're here in Imola, in Italy, the home of racing, for the 7th round of the series. The race will begin in 3 beeps time. And we're racing in Imola. It's a good getaway from Oscar, and he immediately disappears down the road. Some squabbling at the back as they go around that little kink there. Grunius already passed Lottie X into the podium positions as they head towards the first corner. And is that someone dipping a wheel into the grass there? Oh no, and Lottie X goes straight into the back of Grunius, and he spins across the track, and Miko also makes contact. And there's another car, I think it's Wizard, in the back there. 4 cars total involved in that one. Everyone else seems to have made it through safely without damage, but there's 2 cars stranded in the middle of a road there. Grunius trying to get off the road, but there is a red flag called because of an obstruction to the track, so racing will be redundant, and it looks like Grunius is the only car to sustain race-ending damage from that. Yeah, there's Lottie X able to continue and get back to the pits and reset for the red flag restart. Let's have a look at what happened down into corner 1. Lottie X just not really looking ahead of him, perhaps trying to watch for cars behind, and he plows into the back of Grunius, who then takes Miko out in a sort of chain reaction, and then that leaves those 4 cars stranded. Here's Lottie X's perspective, and yeah, just too late on the brakes, not watching what's ahead of him, and he rips the rear wing off and then causes the whole pile-up. There'll definitely be a penalty of some sort heading Lottie X's way for that one. Here's Miko trying to avoid the carnage, goes to the left, but just isn't able to go fully around because Burning is there, and then he gets hit, but he's able to continue for the red flag restart. So we'll start this one a second time with all the cars but Grunius for another 4 laps. And it's an especially good start from the front too, and Avery seems to have gotten a bit of a better launch, and he's passed Oscar already. Into the lead goes Avery with his Senna Tribute livery there, as all the cars rocket down towards corner 1. As we head towards corner 1, oh, is Oscar going to go for a move? Oh, that was so nearly contact there. Oh no, and Ido is flipped upside down. He goes into the gravel, and there's another incident at the back, but it looks like Oscar's already challenging for the lead to get it back from Avery, who got it off on the restart, and he is cleanly through into the lead. Avery drops down to 2nd position, and behind him is Bones and Blazon. Bones loses control and spins into the gravel. That's race over for him, and Farmboy has also gone off earlier in the lap, so that's 2 more cars out of this race. And then there's Burning, who seems to have floor damage there, followed closely by Wizard and Lottie X, who were the 2 cars that got caught up in the incident at the first corner. They'll be wanting to clear the damaged Burning as soon as they possibly can, so that they don't lose too much race time and can somewhat recover what's been a pretty difficult race for them so far, as Lottie X also trying to get past Wizard in the meantime. And Burning goes deep, unable to stop his car, and that'll let Wizard and Lottie X through into 5th and 6th position each. And is that Filmman going deep? He's made a lot of positions in the 2 starts that we've had so far. He's up to 4th now and was in 3rd before Miko got past him. And there's Lottie X going past Wizard, contact made as he went through. Filmman is trying to get past Wizard here for 5th position after having that mistake at the chicane. And he's trying to go up the inside, but Wizard's pitting, and he almost puts Filmman into the wall. A close call there, but Filmman is able to escape, and he'll get past Wizard because he is in the pits now. Wizard must have sustained some sort of damage, as has Burning here, as we can see. His floor almost completely ripped off, so he'll dive into the pits and get that repaired and then be back out on the track in no time. Let's have a look at what happens at the start here. Riding on board with Ido, who just got passed by Burning, and is now going to try to get past him in the first corner by braking later, and he does get around, but then Burning seems to have a snap of oversteer, and obviously that sends Ido barreling into the gravel in a very dramatic crash there, and everyone will go past. That's race over for him. Very unfortunate, because he's been looking forward to this one for a while. Here's Burning's perspective, and he just has a bit of a snap in the corner. Unfortunately, that's not really fair on Ido, so he'll be getting a penalty for that. And then Bones gets up the inside, and Burning goes off the track, and that must be where he got his floor damage there, trying to get back on the track over the curb. And a similar thing happened to Farmboy, just forced a bit wide and not able to keep his line on the track, and ends up in the gravel and unable to get out. And then here's Avery in 2nd position right after the start, and he just has a spin, as also Bones spinning in the background there, and then everyone's able to get by, and that puts Avery right at the back of the field. So another unforced spin for Avery sends him right to the back after being in the pointy end of the race. He'll be able to get back going, but that's a shame for him. He'll have a lot of work to do if he wants to get back into a competitive position in this race and into the championship battle. Filmman comes charging in, unable to get through as Lottie X blocks the track, but he'll have a much better run out of this corner, and Filmman will zoom past Lottie X and gain 4th place. He's now moving his way back up to where he was and on track for his best result yet. Burning has just exited the pits and he's right on the tail of Avery, who's still quite a far way back from where he wants to be, but recovering ever so slowly. And now Burning will try to make it even harder for Avery and make a move on him as we head towards the hairpin. Avery brakes a little bit early and Burning opts to go for the inside line. Where is Avery on exit? Burning is just ahead of Avery, getting the move done in the hairpin. But Avery is not going to let that one go easily. He is right behind him and he pops out of the slipstream and onto the outside to make the move. He tries to go around the outside and roars around the outside of Burning, who has a snap on exit. Plenty of incidents happening. Oh, and Burning proving our case right there. He gets it all wrong at the chicane and ends up upside down with his floor completely ripped off. He's had his floor ripped off twice today, and Lottie X only barely avoids him. He's sitting right on the racing line, but because it's the last lap, we won't red flag it. We'll just warn the cars as they come through not to crash. It's only Avery who still has to come through, and everyone else. And Wizard trying to rejoin here. He must have gone off. Oh, and there's contact. An unsafe rejoin by Wizard. And there's a massive puncture on the front of Lottie X's car there. And he's also got a bit of front wing damage. Wizard will just drive on by like nothing happened. But that's definitely a penalty coming his way come the end of this race. Oh, and Avery's gone off. Avery must have had a crash somewhere earlier in the lap. He's out of the race in 8th. Fortunately for him, all 3 of the cars ahead have had a 1-place penalty, so he'll be boosted up to 5th. Let's just have a look at what happened coming around the corner, and just a little bit too much curb and into the wall he goes. Whack of contact, and that suspension totaled, and his race over. Oscar now coming around through the last couple of corners is the Max Verstappen of this series. He wins, and he wins again. Oscar from pole position, coming around the last couple of bends, is going to take another victory in this series, but not the championship lead, not quite yet. Blazin still holds the championship lead, but today Oscar will win the race in Imola. First position once again for him, and then here comes Blazin coming around the last couple of corners. He'll get 2nd position to maintain his championship lead, and then not too far behind Blazin is Miko, who will continue his amazing streak of podiums, only ever missing out on the podium once. Here he comes. 3rd position for Miko. And that's it for today's race. It's another victory for Oscar. He claims 25 points. 2nd in the standings, only 8 shy now of Blazin, who leads the championship and finishes 2nd in this race. Another podium for Miko in 3rd. He's had 4 of them now, more than anyone else. And then Philman comes home in 4th, his best result yet. Avery, with his special Senna tribute livery, will get 5th, despite finishing 8th on the road, because Lottie X, Wizard and Burning all received a 1-place penalty during this race. It's been quite a wild one, plenty of incidents for those 3 drivers in particular, the yellow and blue ones. Bones gets 9th position in this one, going off in the 2nd restart. He'll still get 2 points for his troubles, and then Farmboy behind him will get 1 point in 10th, the last of the points paying positions. A return to racing for him, not going exactly as planned. Same with Ardo. This was supposed to be his weekend, but unfortunately he was taken out on the first lap. He gets 11th position in the end. And then Greenius also taken out, scoring 0 points on this one. Blazin remains the leader of the championship, but Blury loses it. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to attend today's race, but he's still 3rd in the standings and not too far behind. Blazin is the first to crack 100 points as well, with Oscar not too far behind. Miko gets up to 4th position after being in 6th last time, 2 positions gained for him. Ido in 5th after an unfortunate race, and then Seth in 6th, not a part of the series anymore, so he'll continue to drop down the standings. Penn Striker in 7th, unable to make it for this race, and then Bones remaining in 8th position. Avery is almost there onto the next page. He's only 4 points shy of Bones with 44, aided greatly by the penalties in this race. Apex also unable to make it to this one, he remains in 10th. Burning and Wizard in 11th and 12th, followed by Farmboy in 13th, all not having the races that they wanted. And then Lottie X in 14th, gaining a position trying to climb his way back up after his second start in the series. And then Philman gets onto the page with 16th after his 4th position. 13 points to his name now, and I'm sure you'll continue to move up the standings as the season goes on. Well, thanks for coming along for this race, and if you don't want to miss the next one, which is at Silverstone, you can subscribe so you don't miss any of the races coming up. There's some interesting ones coming in the future. We have Monaco still to come and Bathurst later in the season, and then the championship will be decided at Abu Dhabi later on. Make sure you comment below who you think is going to take the title, but until then, I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.